Listen, everyone, I was way too excited when I discovered that Tangled took place in the 1830s. For a couple of reasons. First off, before looking up the era, I made a guess that her story took place in the former half of the 1800s, and I was right. Second, the 1830s are one of my absolute favorite decades for fashion. Not necessarily because I would want to wear anything from that decade, but because the staple for that decade was ridiculously fabulous, voluptuous, explosive, enormous, overflowing, fantastical sleeves, puffed to the absolute max. I love drawing those sleeves, though I think in the drawing I should have made them even larger. So anyway, the story of Rapunzel takes place in the 1830s to 40s Germany, which, interestingly, is the exact same time period for both Frozen and The Little Mermaid, though they take place in different places, which supports the theory that those three movies take place in the same world. Rapunzel's tale is so famous that it was widely known long before Disney made a movie about it. I remember growing up that anytime I was really sick, my mom would order a book from the library about a red-headed princess with very long hair who lived in a tower. The story told of how her mother, while pregnant, longed for the plants in her neighbor's garden, so Rapunzel's father crept into the garden and stole the plant for the pregnant woman. When the neighbor discovered this, she ordered that she would not punish the couple, but would require but one thing, the newly born baby, whom she named Rapunzel after the plant her pregnant mother longed for. Rapunzel's rescue features a much darker fate for our dashing hero, who wanders the forest for years with both his eyes gouged out until he finds the tower again and Rapunzel's singing heals his eyes, or her tears, or something. I don't really remember. All of this is based off of memory, so if I got the facts skewed a bit, that's my excuse. There you go. So, naturally, when Tangled came out, I was ecstatic and obsessed. I watched it the day it came out, and I've watched it a million times since. It remains to this day one of the few animated movies that my mom will watch, another one of which is Finding Nemo. And it remains one of my favorite movies of all time, and by far my favorite animated film. Now, Rapunzel's design is actually, much to my surprise, actually kind of accurate. I don't mean to offend the people who have designed Disney's princesses thus far, but, I mean, compared to the previous princesses that I've redesigned, I mean, this one's actually kind of close, whereas the other ones they weren't even in the right ballpark. Some of the key elements of 1830s dress was a shorter hemline, which Rapunzel sports in the film, a puffed sleeve that goes tight at the upper forearm, elbow, or wrist, which Rapunzel has a rather dumbed-down version of, and a wide, swooping neckline, which Rapunzel also has. Because of this, my alterations weren't extreme, but they were enough. Thankfully, Rapunzel's design is so distinct that no matter what changes I made, it would still be obvious who it is. Now, I want to talk a bit about the elements of the drawing that I changed and kept the same, aside from what I've already mentioned. First, you may notice that the top of the dress bears a yellow pendant, which is in the shape of Rapunzel's kingdom's sun design. A lot of 1830 dresses had a flower there, but I figure Rapunzel wouldn't have access to flowers in a tower. I kept her hair largely unchanged, besides a bit of her hair being pulled from the side of her head to a clip in the back, as that was a common style, though it would have been in a bun. I can only, and wish only, to imagine the headache this poor girl would have if she attempted a bun. Though I'm sure the braid that she has in the movie at one point can't feel good either. Now, aside from Rapunzel's almost signature bare feet, I needed to include the frying pan. So I looked up old frying pans of the time, and while they are largely unchanged, I did find one model that had a bit of a flair to it that I liked. Its only features are a longer handle and the curved hook at the end of the handle, as opposed to a simple hole through the handle as modern designs bear. Now, I'm sure the video is there by now, but you may have noticed that on the frying pan, a small lizard appeared between cuts. That is not only because I forgot to record it like a doofus, but also because I realized that I forgot to include Pascal. But as I was about to add him, it crossed my mind. Are chameleons even native to Germany? A quick Google search later revealed that they are not. At least, not what I found. I could be incorrect. But anyway, I searched German reptiles and chose the first one that had some green on it, because I still wanted it to at least somewhat feel like Pascal. The lizard I chose is called the Pottercheese moralis. I definitely said that wrong, though. I dramatically simplified the design to look a bit more like a real Disney animal sidekick, and popped the new and environmentally accurate Pascal on the frying pan. I'll include a link in the description to a website that has more info on these lizards, if you are curious. After all this, I think it's easy to say that Rapunzel is, out of the three princesses I've redrawn so far, the most historically accurate in her original design. However, I still wish the big old sleeves had been in the movie because I just love those sleeves, and it would have been so neat to see them animated. You'll have to walk sideways just to get through the door. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye!